Hello, everyone. Um, Midnight hits differently when you're alone with your thoughts. Everything gets louder in the dark, quieter too, somehow. Contradictions make perfect sense at 3 a.m. when sleep won't come and your mind keeps circling back to the same questions, the same faces, the same wondering if you occupy anyone else's insomnia the way they occupy yours. But we're not starting with late nights. We're starting with money, or maybe we're starting with neither. Maybe we're starting with the word unexpected. 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 Reversing expectation, negating what you thought was coming, and isn't that interesting? How we frame surprise as the opposite of what we anticipated rather than as its own thing entirely. Like money can only be unexpected if you weren't looking for it. Like thoughts about you only register as late night if you weren't assuming they happened at all. So, what are you assuming about money, about thoughts, about who occupies whose darkness? Breathing feels manual suddenly, doesn't it? Energy. That slippery word that means everything and nothing. Money, energy. What does that even signify? Some metaphysical vibration? Some cosmic arrangement of circumstances? Or just your relationship to resources? Your capacity to receive? Your willingness to see opportunity where you've been trained to see scarcity? Because if money has energy, if abundance carries a frequency, yours might be tuned to the wrong channel, might be broadcasting lack while trying to receive plenty, might be so focused on unexpected arrivals that you're blind to expected ones, to ordinary opportunities, to resources already present. But let me circle back or forward. Directions blur when you're trying to say something without saying it directly. Late night thoughts, specific person presumably, occupying their mind when defenses are down and truth gets harder to avoid. And you want that, don't you? Want to be the thought that disrupts someone else's peace. Want to be important enough to invade someone's insomnia. Why, though? What does being someone's late night thought give you that being your own doesn't? What validation arrives through someone else's sleeplessness that self validation can't provide? Stomach just twisted into something uncomfortable. Money and thoughts about you, paired together like they're connected, like they're part of the same reading, the same energy, the same what? What connects someone else's nocturnal mental loops to your financial flow? Nothing. Nothing connects them except that both are external. Both are things happening outside you. Both are circumstances you can't control but desperately want to believe are moving in your favor. And pairing them together, making them part of the same promise, it creates this narrative where your value, your worth, your abundance all depends on forces outside you, on money arriving unexpectedly, on someone thinking about you when they're vulnerable, on anything but you, choosing now, pulses erratic, and I should probably drink water. Unexpected money, let's sit with that specifically, not earned money, not worked for money, not exchanged money, unexpected, surprise, windfall, luck, something you didn't create arriving anyway. And the addiction to that, to surprise abundance, to not having to work for it or plan for it or be responsible for creating it, just hoping, waiting, expecting the unexpected, which is its own contradiction, because you can't expect the unexpected. Once you're expecting it, it's not unexpected anymore. It's just delayed, just taking longer than you want. Just not here yet, but definitely coming because You've been promised, you've been told, you've been given this title that says, yes, unexpected money energy. But what if it's not coming? What if unexpected means it genuinely doesn't happen? What if the energy you're picking up on isn't about money arriving, but about your relationship to money needing to transform? What if the unexpected part is that you have to create it yourself? Chest feels hollow, like something scooped out the center. Late night thoughts about you, someone specific, someone whose opinion matters, someone whose mental real estate you want to occupy because why? Because it means you matter, because it proves you're unforgettable, because it validates that you had impact, or because you're thinking about them late at night and you need that mirrored back so your thoughts feel less pathetic, less one sided, less like you're holding on to something that's already let go of you. Harsh, maybe, accurate, you already know. Because here's what happens in late night thoughts: guards drop, truth surfaces, what you avoid during daylight becomes unavoidable in darkness. And if someone's thinking about you, then, if you're the thought that won't let them sleep, what does that actually mean? Does it mean love, regret, nostalgia, or just mental loops? Rumination. The mind chewing on something unresolved, not because it's profound, but because it's unfinished. And you want to be that unfinished thing in someone's mind, that unresolved loop, that thought that disrupts peace. Fingers feel cold, like circulation forgot they exist. Unexpected money energy and late night thoughts about you, both passive, both happening to you, both outside your control, both requiring you to just wait, hope, believe. Trust that forces beyond you are arranging circumstances in your favor. And the seduction of that, the comfort of passivity, of not being responsible, of being able to blame timing, circumstance, other people's free will when things don't materialize. Because if you're not creating it, if it's just happening to you or not happening to you, then it's not your fault, not your responsibility, not your power, not your choice. And giving away your power like that, outsourcing your agency to unexpected arrivals and other people's thoughts, um, it feels safe, feels easier. Feels like you can't be disappointed in yourself if you're waiting on external forces, but you're still disappointed, still waiting, still hoping, still checking for signs, still living in the gap between here and there, between now and when, between empty and abundant, between forgotten and remembered. And that gap, that living in the gap, that's the real energy, not money energy, not thought energy, gap energy, waiting energy, somewhere else energy that keeps you from being here, from noticing what's already present, from creating instead of expecting. Throat dry, like I haven't had water in days. Let me shift this sideways. What if money isn't energy? What if it's just exchange? Value for value, service for payment, action for consequence. Cause and effect stripped of mysticism. And what if late night thoughts aren't profound? What if they're just insomnia, mind wandering, neurons firing in patterns worn deep by repetition and habit and unresolved whatever? What if neither thing means what you need it to mean? What if unexpected money is just money you didn't plan for, and someone thinking about you late at night is just thoughts happening, not symbols, not signs, not cosmic confirmation of your worth or your future or your place in anyone's awareness, just things occurring or not occurring, independent of the meaning you're desperate to assign them? Can you tolerate that possibility? that maybe none of it means anything about you. Shoulders ache like I've been holding them wrong for hours. Here's what I'm circling without landing on. You're making money mean security, making thoughts mean importance. Making both mean you're worthy, you're seen, you're not forgotten or abandoned or invisible. But money can't mean security if your internal state stays insecure. Thoughts about you can't mean importance if you don't believe in your own importance. External circumstances can't fill internal voids. And I know you know this intellectually, logically. You've probably said it yourself to other people. But knowing and living from that knowing different things entirely because you're still here, still reading, still hoping this tells you yes, unexpected money is coming. Yes, someone's thinking about you. Yes, external circumstances are about to validate what you haven't validated internally. And I could give you that, could feed the hope, could confirm the promise built into that title. But that would just be another voice in the chorus of voices telling you to wait, to hope, to expect, to believe that salvation comes from outside. When the only salvation that sticks, that lasts, that actually transforms anything, it comes from inside. From you deciding you're already abundant, from you knowing you already matter, from you recognizing your own worth without needing money or thoughts or any external mirror to show you what's already true. Jaw unclenched, and I didn't realize it was tight. Unexpected money energy, late night thoughts about you, both promising something, both activating something, both pulling your attention away from now toward then, away from here toward there, away from internal toward external. And as long as your attention is out there, as long as you're focused on what might happen or who might be thinking or what might arrive, you're not here. You're not building. You're not creating. You're not working with what is. You're waiting for what isn't. And waiting is the slowest way to get anywhere. Expecting the unexpected is the surest way to miss what's expected. Hoping for late night thoughts is the fastest way to waste your own late night hours, hoping instead of sleeping or creating or literally anything else. So, what now? What do you do with this? With me refusing to confirm your expectations, refusing to feed your hope, refusing to promise that money or thoughts or anything external is en route to rescue you from having to do internal work, you decide. You choose. You either keep waiting or you start building. You either keep expecting or you start creating. You either keep hoping someone's thinking about you or you start thinking about yourself with the intensity you're hoping someone else does. Both are options. Neither is wrong. But only one is empowering. Only one puts you in control. Only one stops the endless cycle of waiting for external circumstances to align while internal state stays stuck. Which one sounds like freedom to you? Whole body feels lighter, like I set something down I didn't know I was carrying. Truth isn't found in others' stories, it's discovered in your own silence. No predictions, just presence. Stay curious, stay awake.